Hey guys, how you going? My name's Bo. Welcome to another video. Have a really exciting one for you today. I had the opportunity to actually interview Matt Piaggi, who is the community manager of LISK. This is really exciting for me for a couple of reasons. One is I've never really done interviews on this channel. I think I might have done one before ages and ages ago. So it's something that I'm not really all that experienced in or familiar with, which is kind of what made it so exciting. LISK is also, in my opinion, one of the top projects in the cryptocurrency space at the moment. So to have the opportunity to actually sit down with someone significant from LISK and actually learn a bit more about the background workings on what's going behind the project itself was really exciting and very insightful. Like I said, I'm not very experienced in interviews, so it may be a little bit rough around the edges in terms of the format, but I hope the content's okay and that you still enjoy it. Just want to say thanks to the LISK team and for Matt for facilitating and actually having this interview again, because it was just a lot of fun for me. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoy. Hey guys, how you going? Here with Bo. Welcome to another video. Very exciting one today. We've actually got Matt from LISK. Matt has come on board to do this chat to talk a little bit about the LISK project, what they're up to at the moment, some of the developments, including the incredible rebrand. You know, back before I actually did the SWOT review of LISK, I didn't actually know a lot about the project, and the great thing about doing the SWOT reviews is it actually forces me to research in detail about topics and projects before I actually present them to the audience. And what really impressed me about LISK was the quality of the documentation, how long they'd been in development for, and really the fact that they were, in a sense, flying under the radar, getting things up to speed, getting things up to scratch before they were ready to launch. And you could see that, you could feel that with everything around the documentation. So I just want to welcome Matt. Matt's the community manager of LISK. He's come on board for this chat. I'll hand it over to Matt to give us a quick introduction.
Yeah, so hey guys, Bo, thanks for having me on. I'm Matt, the community manager here at LISK. I'm originally from New Zealand, have spent time working at startups in New Zealand, Australia, and been in Berlin for over 3 years. I've been in the blockchain space since I joined LISK last year, but yeah, Berlin has become a bit of a hub for the industry. So it's really hard to miss in this city, and I think this project, as you said in the introduction, is really unique. We're going to get into it probably a bit later on, but I looked at the team and the leadership around the project, and yeah, really wanted to be involved. The community manager role, I guess, is kind of a combination of my skill sets and really kind of trying to generate a relationship between customers or communities and a brand. So that's where I come into play with, managing the community, looking at kind of events around the world, and providing that support for LISKers.
Sure. So LISK has obviously got probably one of the biggest communities out there that I've seen of any cryptocurrency. I think you guys have got 180,000 followers on Twitter. I mean, that is just mind-boggling. Since you've come on board, Matt, how have you found the sentiment around the community of LISK? How have you found the interaction, and what are some of the things such as meetups or anything else that the community around LISK actually come together for?
Yeah, I think with the community, I mean, obviously it's huge in a lot of ways. Like on Twitter, on Reddit, we've got a large community from around the world. But yeah, the thing about like the community that we have, I guess, that everyone's really engaged. It's not just people that are signed up or following us. It's people that really want to engage in conversation. They really want to know what's going on. As well as that, they want to know how they can contribute to the project. That's the exciting thing for me in this industry, is that, people follow us, they want to know what's happening, but they're also really keen to, throw their own meetup and contribute in any way that they can to make this project kind of fulfill the mission that we have in enabling blockchain creators. So yeah, that's the really amazing thing. It's not only the size of the community, but the fact that everyone is really buying into our mission.
And I think that says something for, like you mentioned earlier, the mission of LISK. But I think it also says something about the foundations of a company. If a company can kind of manage to organically grow this community that supports them. I mean, I think that really says something for the values of the company and how they actually operate, because that not every company can pull that off, especially with a community the size of what's behind LISK. So I think that's pretty remarkable, actually, and shows certainly to me a lot of positives about how LISK is actually operated. So I guess obviously you guys had a huge rebrand recently. I know a lot of people, you know, were kind of a little bit iffy about the previous kind of branding. I myself didn't really mind it that much. I mean, I thought it was kind of cool. It kind of looked something a bit gamey. But obviously it's been a huge rebrand, massive overhaul of the website. How has that been perceived by the community?
Yeah, so as you say, like the rebrands that took place in February, it was actually, we deemed it kind of a relaunch. It was a relaunch of the LISK brand, really. You know, it was not only kind of the look and feel, the logo, the website, but it was kind of this whole reshape and professionalism, I guess, of the company to show how far we've come, you know, from the people on the team to, you know, a renaming of certain products as well. So we had actually 500 family, friends, and community members fly into Berlin to kind of showcase all of this work that we have done. As I say, not only on the aesthetic, but like the communications. You know, we worked with our brand agency, Relevance, on that as well. So coming up with our communication strategy, and then Tyke and Nelson, obviously, with the design as well. I mean, one of the greatest things about having all of the community members from around the world being able to attend that as well, or a lot of them, sorry, was that we got kind of direct feedback on the night. And then we had also, you know, these 50,000 people that tuned in for the live stream over YouTube that were able to send in feedback as well. So we actually were kind of overwhelmed the next day when we got in and we had, you know, the response that we did have. And I think, you know, overall we were super happy with the reception, you know, both on the branding side, on the new kind of LISK hub that we put out there as well, the new wallet, as well as, you know, the new product namings, which I mentioned, and the LISK Academy as well.
So 50,000 people on the YouTube live stream. That is absolutely mind-boggling. That is a lot of people. I think the most I've ever had on a live stream is about 110 people, and that blew my mind. 50,000 people. That is insane. I mean, especially if it blew the expectations of this, that means it's obviously a massive success. I guess you touched on before, you know, the fact that it wasn't just a rebrand, it was a relaunch of the brand. Mm-hmm. What's the journey been like for LISK transitioning from an early stage company a couple of years ago up to this point? I mean, as investors, as community managers, as enthusiasts, as developers, we kind of only see on the surface level information that's provided to us, but there's no doubt there's a tremendous amount of work and energy put in behind the scenes. So tell us a little bit about the journey of LISK from what it was to where it is now.
Yeah, sure. So I guess one of the main points there is that, you know, Max and Oliver started this project 2 years ago, and it was just them. You know, Oliver flew over from the UK. They were working here in Berlin, and they were, you know, starting this mission together, growing the team. For like up until probably the middle of last year is when we, you know, got an HR department here. So, you know, this transition from them also doing the business side and the development side with Oliver to actually getting, you know, handpicking talent from around the world and being able to, okay, like now they can really streamline their roles, and also we can, you know, start to build this world-class team that we have. I think this is kind of the switch along with the relaunch that we had, and really establishing ourselves as a company, as a professional company. And it's amazing that what happens with that transition, right? Like departments get streamlined. You start to have a really, you know, specific focus in each department as well. You know, a really well set up marketing, communications, and community department, along with, you know, a growing development team, a front end team to work on the UX as well. And now we have Julian and Bart, our kind of design team that started as well. So the transition to get to this point, has really, been about handpicking the right talent from around the world to kind of form the team that can kind of fulfill the mission moving forward.
Yeah, it was interesting how you were talking about, it's kind of gone from this early stage group of founders and developers into essentially becoming a corporate business structure. I worked for a very corporate, bureaucratic organization for 12 years, and so that was all I really knew. Mm-hmm. Coming out of that into the blockchain space, you can see it's startups, right? It's basically developers, founders, small groups of people. Seeing now, and even I can see in the last 12 months, that transition from really the very serious top-tier platforms transitioning from those early-stage startup businesses really into these corporate structures that are well-defined, well-organized, roles are defined clearly, ready to launch, because obviously blockchain is so early. I think is exciting, and for me it's kind of like they're taking that next step. That's that next step of professionalism, stepping into, hey, we're ready to go. We as a business are professional. We want to be seen as professional and credible in the industry as we get ready to launch our product. Leading into now where LISK is up to now. So obviously with the rebrand or the relaunch, there's an incredible plethora of information now on the LISK site. I've perused it myself. It's amazing how much really, really good information is on there. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the LISK Academy and what's maybe coming in the future for people who want to learn a little bit more, not only about LISK, but blockchain and cryptocurrencies?
Yeah, so the LISK Academy has been one of those, points that after the relaunch we got, or the rebrand we got so much feedback on, right? So, I guess in this industry, it's swamped with white papers and technical papers that are not exactly page turners. There isn't really one place that people go to kind of, get their information on blockchain and the basics of the industry. We saw an opening with that, and Jacob Kowaleski, the lead on Academy, along with Michael Bodovitz, wrote a lot of the content. That was complemented by Julian, the designer that I mentioned earlier, who included some animations within that as well. So we were able to kind of put together this really nice bite-sized resource for people that want to learn more about blockchain. I think based on the response, Jacob already had a vision of where he wanted to take this. And it will get, as kind of our products develop, it will become more technical in itself as well. But I think that, where we're going to take this over time is continue to take people on this journey about how to build their own applications, how to start their own blockchain business, and eventually maybe have it credited as well, so that you're able to say, okay, I went through all of the LISK Academy and I got to this point, or, I get my own LISK diploma eventually, but really fleshing this out and continuing to build out the modules so that we're providing that education and understanding around the industry and letting people that maybe aren't necessarily JavaScript developers or developers take their education to the next level.
Oh, it's really exciting stuff. And I think it shows, obviously, LISK's commitment to not only continuing blockchain and cryptocurrencies, but again, being seen as a credible organization moving forward. So I guess in terms of deliverables then and the actual platform itself, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the SDK isn't maybe quite out yet. What's the kind of thoughts around that at the moment? When does LISK envisage these tools being available for people to actually start building applications on the LISK platform?
Yeah, so we've been working on the LISK ecosystem obviously for a while, and we're looking to really fully flesh out these products in full. So the SDK, or the sidechain development kit, will be a combination of LISK Core, LISK Elements, LISK Commander, and the LISK Hub. Right now, the focus is on LISK Core, basically the main chain, making this secure and scalable. We will be kind of finalizing that shortly. And after that, we will continue to kind of work on these other projects. So the command line interface of Commander where you'll actually be able to kind of deploy your sidechains from. Then that with elements, which is, the libraries and documentation, API representation, cryptography, shared cryptography within that as well. That will allow you to actually modularize your sidechain as well and customize it. So the combination of all of these aspects will really allow you to create your own sidechain easily with JavaScript. This will be released actually later in the year. We do have some other aspects from a development point of view that we want to work out to streamline the network as well. So that's dynamic fees, which will be the focus after Core 1.0. Then we'll have a new address system as well. So everything is moving, in the right direction. We're really happy with the productivity of the team. And in terms of development, we're at a stage now where, we're continually being ranked, in the top few projects in terms of the quality of the code and the output. We have, 11 back-end developers working on the core product. So it's a really exciting phase for us as we move forward and start to kind of, tick off things off the roadmap to make the products, available and to people to start deploying their own sidechains.
It's funny. I'm not a developer, but I've just been starting to learn just on the side a little bit of Solidity and things like that. And I think the way LISK, the way things are laid out makes me want to learn JavaScript just to have a play with it. So I'm looking forward to things coming out and actually being able to have a play with it myself and actually seeing where it goes. So I guess LISK is obviously a platform for decentralized applications to be built on. There's a few of them out there at the moment, the obvious ones being Ethereum. Neo is starting to gain some traction now as well. We've obviously got Cardano and EOS. How is LISK going to set itself apart in terms of what it offers, how it presents itself, and the markets it's looking to penetrate?
Yeah, so as a platform, obviously we are a decentralized application platform that focus on JavaScript developers. So, the most common, coding language. As well as that, we will have, sidechains, so that any applications that are built are actually have their own blockchain in a way on a sidechain. That means that we're not, bloating the main chain that we have, and it's a scalable solution. So those are, I guess, like the two, main points of how we're different in the market, as well as that kind of this like sidechain development kit that we are producing at the moment. This is allowing it for, JavaScript developers, even at really early stages, to be able to use the command line interface, to be able to just deploy their own sidechain easily with accompanying documentation. It's exactly the same with LISK elements, being able to grab a module from that, be able to customize your sidechain, whether that's the consensus algorithm or the fees, making all of this really accessible and easy for developers. So that's really the goal from a product point of view. In terms of what we'll accompany that with, again, it comes down to the documentation, the support. So kind of part of this community management role that we have, which is really exciting, is that right now we're engaging with kind of the education and the understanding of the platform, but that's going to shift to a more technical role, obviously, when people start building. So we will build out our team here and provide that additional support. We also have the community that do a great job of that for us as well. And then along with that, you're going to have the LISK Academy that kind of continues to bring you through on this journey. I guess another really important part to this as well, from coming back to the products, is that everything will be housed within the LISK Hub that we have built out. So the new wallet that we came out with after the relaunch, this is where you'll be able to, at a really nice user interface, register your application and kind of manage, send and receive your LISK from. So it's making all of these processes really easy and guiding developers or mass adopters through that as well.
And LISK you'll actually be able to launch, or developers or founders will actually be able to launch ICOs and create their own tokens as well, I believe. Exactly.
So as soon as the sidechain development kit is ready, we'll actually be able to, I guess, boost the ecosystem in its full form, where, people are creating their own applications, but they're also a part of this bigger ecosystem, right? So, creating their own token or launching their ICO, being a part of a decentralized exchange as well. All of this kind of like builds to the bigger picture and the big mission that we have of, hosting these applications on our platform and being the leader with that.
Okay, that's really interesting stuff, Matt. And what does LISK have planned, I guess, in the short term, maybe for the next few months? Is there any significant developments? Is there any major events or anything that people following LISK can expect to see on the horizon?
Yeah, so I guess the main aspect from a development point of view is Core 1.0, which we're closing in on. This is really exciting because, yeah, as I say, it's probably the biggest milestone from a development point of view in the company's history. So we are really excited about that. From a marketing point of view, after the relaunch, we have all this nice new material that we're coming to market with. This comes also with a video strategy and kind of some new animations and stuff that we can basically showcase for like penetrating the global market there as well. In addition, we have a lot of events on the horizon as well. So, a lot of the team right now is in Hong Kong at Token 2049. After that, Max is actually going to Tokyo for a meetup and another conference where he's speaking at. And we're also going to be at Consensus in New York in May as well. So this, along with kind of the meetup and the community effort that we have around it, means that the next few months are going to be a pretty amazing journey for us.
Yeah, it sounds really exciting. Do you know where people can go that may be interested in learning a little bit more, not only about LISK, the LISK Academy, but upcoming events as well? Do you know where people can go to find that information?
Yeah, for sure. So everything is hosted on the website, so lisk.io. You'll be able to find all the latest events as well as the Academy, learn a little bit more about our products. We also have some videos on our YouTube channel. What is LISK? What is blockchain? These are really cool to get a quick overview of the ecosystem and the technology as well. And also, if you're interested, we have our careers page on the website as well. So always looking for people to come and join us here in Berlin. So please feel free to apply if you're watching this.
Will you actually fly people over just for the interview?
Absolutely. No, we will discuss that. I mean, we actually have like people from around the world that come and work for our company. So we're always happy to engage, in the discussion if they're bringing the right skill set and they're the right culture fit. This is definitely a discussion that we want to be having. So please, no matter where you are, come and apply for a role at LISK.
It's really exciting. I actually just did a blog on blockchain careers and how new this industry is, and then how the time is now if people want to get involved, learn a new skill, and really be a part of probably one of the most exciting industries that I certainly have ever seen. So really exciting stuff. Matt, that's it for me, mate. I just want to say a huge thanks to you and LISK for coming on. I really enjoyed that talk. I really enjoyed learning a little bit more about LISK, and I'm sure the audience did as well. So just want to say from me, thanks again for coming on.
Awesome. Thanks, Bo.